This is the Event Center at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight, live on the World Wide Web, it's Joe Weider's Olympia Weekend 2000. Sponsored by Bodyonics Pinnacle and presented by Flex Online and MuscleandFitness.com. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Amato along with Mike Matarazzo. We're happy you're with us wherever you're watching around the world. Mike, of course, IFBB professional since 1991. He's been in 6 Mr. Olympia contests, 3 Arnold Classics, 6 Night of Champions. Good to be working with you tonight, Mike.
Fantastic. It's been a great time so far, Joe.
And, Mike, tell the fans why you're with me up here in the booth tonight and not on stage.
I've had to answer that question a lot this weekend. And because it's been such a busy year for me this year, the promoters, I've done 47 guest appearances, 22 gym openings. Business-wise, it was just incredible, so there was no way for me to do contest prep for a contest of this size, the Mr. Olympia, the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. But I will be here next year. To all my fans out there, no, I have not retired. I will be back.
Well, you turned out to be an excellent commentator. We did the Ms. Olympia and Fitness Olympia last night live on the web, and we're happy to be with you and that you're with us tonight for the crown jewel of bodybuilding, the biggest bodybuilding show in the world, the Mr. Olympia contest.
This is it. This is where all the best bodies in the world come together. The best professional athletes in the world of bodybuilding are on the stage tonight, and you're going to be seeing one heck of a show.
And let's start with the defending champion, Ronnie Coleman, who's won the show 2 years in a row. Dorian Yates, as many of you know, had his long streak. Ronnie has started what could be a streak, but there are some guys who want to knock him off. You saw Ronnie in prejudging today. How did he look?
Ronnie looks incredible. As always, I'm very, very impressed with Ronnie. It seems like every year he makes improvements that might seem hard to believe the way his physique looks. But in my opinion, I can't see anybody really beating him.
And behind us, the stage here, which you're going to see as soon as the show starts, we have a sellout, a near sellout, we're told, here at the Event Center at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. And just the excitement that surrounds this event now is outstanding. It's as big as it's ever been.
Yeah, it's great. The electricity that you feel from the fans, they know this is the biggest. They know this is the best. They know they've come here to see their favorites, and it just fills the auditorium full of excitement.
Okay, so Ronnie Coleman, the defending champion and the favorite, of course. Now, let's run through some of the challengers. First of all, there's a man who's also not on stage tonight, and that's Chris Cormier. What happened to Chris?
Quite a disappointment for Chris. He did very, very well this year at the Arnold Classic and the Ironman, actually beating Flex Wheeler at the Ironman. He was in contest preparation for this show. He had an apparent accident while doing a guest pose, I believe, out of the country, and it put a great hindrance on his training, so he had to back out of it. I think he's going to regret it tonight because I could foreseeably see him in the top 2.
Definitely. Chris is here in Las Vegas this weekend signing autographs like you have been, mixing with the fans, so he's okay. He just couldn't compete.
Chris also will be back next year, I'm quite sure of it.
Now, last night while we had the women's show going on, also on our website, we had a poll going as to who the fans thought would win the Mr. Olympia contest. And for a while, Nasser El Sanbati had a huge lead, but it narrowed near the end of the evening, and he won by just a fraction of a point or maybe a percentage point, just ahead of Ronnie Coleman. But it shows you that the fans are not convinced that Ronnie's going to win it, and that I think Nasser has a very international audience now.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Nasser is one of the world's greatest bodybuilders. He's known throughout the world through many, many fans. He does many, many guest poses, many exhibitions, and the fans like him. So the fans preferably put their favorite on top.
Definitely. All right, this is my first webcast. I know it's your first webcast.
Yes, yep.
I have a feeling, though, that this is the cutting edge of technology and the future of the sport. First time we've been going around the world. What does it feel like to be up here in the booth?
It actually feels quite good. I thought I was going to be very nervous in the beginning, but I've had a lot of fun so far. It's quite an experience, and it's an honor to be up here just doing this.
And during the week here, you've been filing daily reports on what's going on here in Las Vegas. There's a lot going on in Las Vegas. There's Muscle Beach out at the pool. There's the Fitness Expo and everything. What have you noticed in mixing with the fans?
What I've noticed is that the fans all have different points of view, and that's what's great about bodybuilding, because no matter who wins, the fans always stand by their favorite, and no matter what they look like, they still stand by them, and it's wonderful to see that fan participation.
And these fans, I noticed, come from everywhere. I've heard different accents and different languages being spoken. They come from around the world. This is really a truly international sport.
Oh, it's worldwide. I mean, people can relate to certain people on stage, and I think that just draws them more to the sport.
And this man right here is a celebrity. I'm telling you. We have a hard time getting him up to the booth because you're signing so many autographs and taking so many pictures with the fans, but it's a great feeling. Mike, do you gamble?
No, I don't. I don't make enough money to gamble.
Because the casinos are alive and operating here 24 hours a day, of course. But bodybuilding has taken over the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, which is one of the brand new hotels here on the Las Vegas Strip. All right, Mike, at this point, usually you're backstage and you're getting pumped up right now. What would be going on?
Right now, you have all the ideas of what went on during the pre-judging going through your head, and you're trying to figure out exactly where you're placed, where the judges placed you, and how you compare to the other athletes. But most of all, I think the guys are really trying to polish up their act to impress the audience and get their favorites to pull out for them.
The pre-judging had a huge crowd here today, too.
Well, the pre-judging is basically the main part of the show, and it's the only part of the contest where the fans can actually see their favorite athletes compared to each other. It's a big, big boost to the contest itself.
Were there any surprises outside of Ronnie Coleman, and what did you think of him again?
Again, I thought Ronnie looked outstanding. He's going to be very hard to beat. There was a couple of surprises in my eyes. Sean Ray, who's always on, always looks incredible to me. Today, he looked extremely on. I could see Sean actually beating Flex tonight with the way he looks. Yeah, it was that close. So there might be some upsets, there might not. You have to wait and see it at the final show.
There's only 13 guys in the show. Is that the smallest number there have been? I believe so.
Yes, it is. It's the smallest number there have been since I've been competing. Usually there's an average of 22 to 26 guys up there.
Does it matter to you? You've done all different kinds of show, whether it's 13 or 50 guys?
It definitely matters because that means that there are possibly guys that wouldn't have been in the money, wouldn't have been in the top 10, that have a much better chance of being in the top 10 and being in the money now. I know if I was up there this evening, I'd definitely be in the money.
There are, of course, Mike, you've been in the Arnold Classic, the Night of Champions. There are a number of different professional shows. But what's the difference between the Olympia and the other shows?
Because this is it. This is the one that everybody wants to see. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like the World Series. People know that the best of the best can only qualify to be in this show, and they know the best of the best will be on stage.
Let's review last night. Of course, we had the Ms. Olympia contest, which came back to Olympia weekend last night after, they had it as a separate event for a few years. We also had the the Fitness Olympia contest last year as well. The Fitness Olympia champion was Susie Curry, and that was an upset, maybe the start of some upsets this weekend.
Possibly, yeah. It was basically a fan upset, although the fan reaction towards the end you really didn't notice that because she did get a huge round of applause. But people basically thought Kelly Ryan was going to walk away with the show, so that might start a trend. But like you say, maybe there'll be some upsets tonight.
And I know I was talking to Timmy Mariova, who finished fourth. Wasn't she fourth last night? She was disappointed, and the natural thing after building up so much intensity to get to the show, it's very hard to go home happy unless you've got that trophy.
Well, only one person really leaves the contest happy, and that's basically the winner. But it just gives both the men and the women the time to polish up their act for next year.
And then we had the Ms. Olympia contest last night, which for the first time ever was split into two categories, a lightweight and a heavyweight. The lightweight winner was Andrula Blanchette, and she was incredible.
I'm incredibly impressed with her. I'm personally trained with her in the gym. She's an incredible athlete. She deserves to be in this place for a long time, I believe. And last night, she definitely got what she deserves. She's an incredible bodybuilder and an incredible athlete.
And the heavyweight champion, and this was a great contest on the heavyweight side. We had Lisa Lewis in the show. We had Vicky Gates in the show. But the winner was, and I'm not going to get her name right now, is Valentina Chapika.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
That's right. And she was the winner, kind of a surprise, and really not many people have heard about her.
Really a surprise to me. To be honest, that was the first I've ever heard of her, and when I saw her on stage last night, I was incredibly impressed, and I had a slight feeling in my gut that there would be an upset there, that it was going to cause a few tears to fall out of other competitors' eyes when she came out.
I don't know if we're going to have an upset tonight, but it's going to be very interesting, and we know you're going to stay with us because you're going to see some of your favorite professional bodybuilders up here on the stage, and the longer I talk to Mike, the more I know he wants to rip his clothes off right now and get down there and start.
It is difficult. It is difficult for me being a competitor, seeing the guys that I do compete against and still compete against. But it's also fun for me to be laid back and have my own point of view to see all the guys play.
Las Vegas is not too far from Southern California, It's about a 5-hour drive to Los Angeles, the mecca of bodybuilding. So it's quite convenient for everyone, and this has just turned out to be a great place to have the Olympia weekend.
Yeah, everybody likes to come out to Las Vegas because they know even after the contest is over, Las Vegas never sleeps, baby. There's always something to do.
Of course, bodybuilding shows never start on time. That's something we know very well. And why is that, Mike? What's going on backstage that actually hold up the show like this? Have you ever figured that out?
That's one thing I could never figure out. And, when you're backstage, you're really not thinking about why they're holding up the show. You're just praying that the show will start soon because you're dying to go out and get something to eat. But I think it's just a personnel problem and shuffling the guys around. And I think they want to make sure that they get everything just right. The music, the composition of the theater, everything, because this is the biggest show in bodybuilding and they want it to come down to the wire. Perfect.
And I'm sure we have a lot of bodybuilders who are watching who have competed themselves. And it's always interesting to me when I'm backstage before the show, somebody will say, like yourself or Kevin Lebroni, some of you guys are very relaxed before the show. Kevin will say, well, just 2.5 hours before I get that pizza.
Yeah, Kevin's great. Kevin is one of a kind. He's probably one of the coolest characters back there. I myself get a little stressed out when the show goes over time, because I'm dying to get out there and do my thing. I really want to put on a show for the guys. But I'm dying even more to get home and have a pizza.
That's right. There's always a pizza or an ice cream on the menu for about 11 o'clock our time here in Las Vegas. Well, Mike, we reviewed your history. We reviewed the history of the event. And let's also talk about Joe Weider, who was here. He was not able to make the event a year ago, but he was here last night. He will be here tonight. In fact, you will hear from him when the show gets going. And it was good to see Joe last night.
It certainly was. Again, as I said last night, Uncle Joe was timeless. He's ageless. He basically is the sport as far as I'm concerned. I know in my career, with my career, would have gone nowhere without the support of Weider and Flex Magazine, Muscle Fitness, and so on. And just when you see Mr. Weider come on stage and the competitors see him, it sparks a light inside you because you know Joe truly, truly loves the sport.
And you were telling me just now before we started about his office in, was it Woodland Hills?
Woodland Hills, yes.
Tell us about his office. You've been there.
Oh, it's magnificent. I mean, it's a bodybuilding historical playground. You see pictures from Larry Scott to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, Franco Colombo, Lou Ferrigno, everywhere, giant murals, beautiful bronze statues. It's just an incredible office. It definitely has Mr. Weider written all over it. Very classy.
That's the Weider corporate headquarters.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Mike, you started your career in 91. That's when you turned pro. Is that right?
Yes, 1991 was I won the Mr. USA in Santa Monica, California. It was actually the second show I ever competed in. And I definitely didn't even think I had a career in bodybuilding until after I found out all the perks to it after I won the USA, and I've been doing it ever since.
Who did you beat on stage that night?
Oh, that was an incredible show. I beat Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, and there was about 42 other competitors in my heavyweight class. There was over 200 competitors in the whole show overall. It was either the biggest USA in history or one of the biggest, and it was probably one of the most exciting nights of my life. And me and Flex gave it a really good time that night, really good show, and Flex and I have been close friends ever since.
You're from Massachusetts. You're a Boston native.
Yes,
right?
I am.
Yeah, well, we can hear that accent.
I'm sorry about that, folks.
And proud of it. That's okay. I went to Emerson College in Boston, a great school.
Great town.
And now you live in Southern California. You lived in Los Angeles for a while, but tell us you now live in Modesto.
Yeah, I lived in Southern California for 7 years. Basically, when you get your pro card as a bodybuilder, you want to be right in the hubbub. In Venice, California, Gold's Gym Venice, that's it. That's where all the photographers are. That's where all the magazines come out. The publicity is right there, and you want to be there, I believe, at the beginning of your career to give it a really good kickoff.
It sounded like it was a great kickoff for you. 1991 was very special.
Fantastic. Yes.
You look back at pictures from that time and say, wow, look at this guy.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes it kind of bums me up because sometimes I wonder where that guy went. I know I have to work a lot harder to get him back.
Gets a little harder as you get older.
You ain't kidding. Once you pass 30, it gets real hard.
Hey, during the broadcast tonight, we're also, hopefully, we're going to have Dorian Yates, Mr. Olympia, come up here as well and speak with us. And we also hope to have Chris Cormier, who's not competing tonight, in the booth as well. Like I said, Chris is here in Las Vegas this weekend. He's fine. He was out signing autographs and mingling with the fans this weekend. Of course, Chris looks huge.
Chris is an incredible athlete.
All right. Let's, if you don't mind, I'm just going to turn around because I want to make a judgment for myself as to what's going on here. The fans are still filing in. We do expect a sellout crowd here tonight, or a near sellout crowd. Last year they did have a few empty seats, but I think in the past year, the publicity for this event has just increased that much. There's been a buzz about A, coming to Las Vegas, and B, seeing Olympia weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, the whole weekend together, including the expo, with the women's contest and the fitness contest, has got a whole mix of fans in there. It's not just basically bodybuilding fans anymore. You have people that are just in it for a physical fitness aspect of it. And since they're here, they get a real taste of bodybuilding when they come and see the bodybuilding show. So you have a huge interaction of people, and you have a lot going on.
Yeah, that's the best part about it, I think. The bodybuilders are just walking around.
Yeah.
There they are. They're right there. You get to see the pros who are competing. In fact, they had a great autograph session here on, I think it was Thursday night.
Thursday.
And the girls and the guys stayed for at least 2 hours signing autographs for everyone. There was a huge line. The fans kept coming and coming and coming, and nobody really gave up. Kept signing autographs. It was excellent.
Well, that's true. This is basically the only time that the fans really get to see the people that they see in the magazines. And when they see them up close and personal, it's much different than just reading about them in Flex and Muscular Fitness, and you get to know them on a personal basis.
All right. I was looking over my shoulder. What's going on back there?
Yeah, they're still filing in.
We also should mention that the Village People will be performing here tonight. Contractually, we're not allowed to show that event to you, so when they are performing, with 2 times in the show, I just want to give you a warning for everybody who's watching. When the Village People are on stage, and there is one other act, I can't remember, some sort of high wire act, we'll be switching out up here to the booth. I tell you what, I see a very special guest out here.
So do I, right there.
Right. And it would be so cool if she could come in and speak with us right now.
Yeah.
You know what? If you don't mind, I'm going to pull the chair. Can you help? Kim's going to do the chair. Thank you, Kim. Why don't we bring in right now Kim Chevesky. Kim, come and sit down. 4-time Ms. Olympia.
Hi, beautiful.
Who looks great. Welcome to the booth, Kim.
Thank you.
Didn't expect you'd be on right away, did you?
No, but this is fine.
Great. Well, you know Mike Matarazzo.
Very well.
Of course, very, very well.
What did you think of the show last night, the Ms. Olympia contest?
I was happy with it. If they're going for the new trend for the trimmed down, more feminine version, I'm very happy for Valentina Shapega. And besides that, she still had a lot of muscle, very good, conditioning and everything. So she still has the total package.
I know Mike asked the question. Let me ask you one other question. Why aren't you defending your title this year?
I could go on for no.
Well, we got the time.
No, but actually, after winning 4 years in a row, and people keep saying, go for the record, but 7 is a number in a book. It doesn't set me financially. It doesn't, make me any better of a person. And after winning 4, I'm thinking that's good enough, and it's time for me to move on and try other things.
And what are those other things?
Well, we're looking right now at the 2001 Fitness International.
That would be a great story.
So I'm looking forward to it. I've been tumbling again. I did it all through grade school, high school. I was a cheerleader and on dance squad in college. So after 10 years of not tumbling, I started tumbling last winter. And so I'm flipping all over the place again, doing great strength moves and flexibility moves. So I should be right on par with everyone else.
That would be exciting.
Kim, I just want to say, you know this from the heart. I've worked with you many, many years. She is one of the consummate professionals out there, one of the sweetest people you'll meet in the sport. And I just want to say, whatever she does, I know you're going to do 100%, and I know you're going to kick butt in whatever you do.
Thank you. I've always, anything I've ever done, I've always put 110% in. And even though, because I don't know what to expect from fitness, but, and I just want to go out there and do my very best. But I'm hoping to win. I don't like to lose. I don't think anyone likes to. So I'm really, really attacking this just like the bodybuilding.
Well, I think you're going to be a prime example to any women that do bodybuilding that want to make the transition. If Kim Chevesky, Miss Olympia extraordinaire, can do it, then I want to give it a shot too. You've been a role model for so many women out there, and it's good that you do this. And I know that when you succeed at it, more and more women are going to get involved.
I appreciate that, and I really hope that that does send a message that if women are in bodybuilding and want to make the transition, you don't stay huge forever. You can trim down and you can can be very succtotal in
Yes,
those areas.
the changes you made to your body are just incredible from what I see. I mean, you look stunning.
Thank
stunning.
you. Thank you. I've lost total, like we started counting from last July when I started my 99 Miss Olympia preparation until this very point, I've lost 60 pounds.
That's amazing.
60.
And that's 60 pounds of muscle, folks. 60 pounds of muscle.
While still trying to, remain tight and not go all the flab. So that's thanks to Chad.
Yeah, and again, Chad Nichols, her husband, who is extraordinary trainer and dietitian. He helps many of the guys on stage, and what he does with nutrition is just incredible.
Was it great to have the Ms. Olympia contest come back to this weekend last night? I thought it was a perfect fit.
I think so. I really do. I mean, I feel that all the Olympians should be together in one place because it brings us all together as a family. And, the female and male bodybuilders are very close. Because we look out for each other, and it's just great to be able to come here and the guys support us on Friday and then we support them on Saturday.
I wasn't aware of that. In fact, I was talking with Mike last night. Mike, you've worked out with some of the female bodybuilders that we saw last night, so there is that close relationship back and forth.
There really is, because as everyone knows, I mean, we appreciate mainstream following, but it really is a cult following, and we really have to depend on ourselves a lot for support.
Yeah, we do watch each other's back, whether it's in the gym or it's during contest time, because nobody else watches us.
Exactly.
Well, Kim, how does it feel to be on the World Wide Web right now?
It's pretty cool. It is. And it's a good thing because, at least I'm not exploited on there or something. Someone's body in my head or something,
Now you're giving people ideas, Tim.
Are you good with computers?
I'm real good at typing. I was a paralegal for a long time, so I'm good at the typing, and me and Chad kind of bumble around and try to figure things out. So we're doing pretty good with it.
Oh, you're on the Mike Matarazzo level.
Yeah, right. One finger at a time.
Well, it's interesting because we're wondering here, if you're live on the web, people could be watching anywhere they have a computer, any time zone. It could be 6 o'clock in the morning somewhere, India, Africa, Australia. It's an exciting way to see this contest or anything, really.
It really is, and in a way, this by the computer, and the internet may, open up other fan bases that, people who may not even know about bodybuilding, maybe, just playing around and see this on there and grow an interest in it. So I think it might open up new avenues for the sport.
Before you came up, Mike and I were talking about the fans here in Las Vegas this weekend and the size of Olympia weekend. Now, you've been in the sport for a while. Have you ever seen a turnout like this, or?
Each year, it just really seems like with good promotion and just the fan base keeps growing and growing, that really it does become more popular and more popular every year. And I think this weekend here in Vegas, because there's not just the show, but there's other things to do, it'll draw a bigger crowd because of, even my husband Chad and myself, we came out, Tuesday just and staying through next week just to make it like a vacation work type of deal. And, I think, people come out for vacation, gamble a little, see some shows, and come support the Olympia.
Yeah, there's always something to do after the show's over,
Yeah,
Definitely.
City that never sleeps, so,
And this hotel is outstanding. There's a man-made beach out back. It's unbelievable. That makes waves. That's where I am every day.
I partook in that the other day. It was really nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was really incredible. I did the We the Muscle Beach there for the past couple of days, and the workmanship out there and just the fun you can have out there, it's actually like being on a real beach with the wave machine and everything else. It's a lot of fun.
I was asking Mike, and now I'll ask you, why is it that these bodybuilding shows never start on time?
I'm not really sure.
I don't think they know either.
I think they do that on purpose. I really do know. No, my husband and I promote shows. Mike knows, he's been on our show before. And I try to start as close as possible. I'm usually about maybe 10 minutes late, but if they're not there, too bad, I get rolling.
It's almost a tradition that it can't start on time.
It really is. Or usually always a tradition that something happens. Music going bad, or some kind of a light goes out or something. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But
as I said, I believe they just try to make everything perfect for the people on stage, and there's always something little going on backstage, little happening that just gets in the way.
Right.
And the fans are still coming in, so that's good too. No, they're not going to miss anything. But you're right, they're trying to make it right. I've actually been backstage, and they just want it right when you guys step on stage.
And that's crucial, too, because, you know, like I saw when we came in for the prejudging today, everyone was still vacuuming down there. And that's really crucial for the athletes. If there's debris or oil or whatever on the floor, that can be really dangerous for us. So, you know, if they need to do that, do it.
Mike's just dying to jump down on the stage right now. What's it like for you not competing?
Actually, it wasn't too bad because last night I was still on stage in the MC capacity, which I enjoyed very much. It was really fun. So I think if I had just quit cold turkey and not decided to go into fitness, I would have been a little more misty-eyed than I was. But now that I have a new direction to go into, I'm really not sad. I'm looking forward to the new. So I always appreciate, you know, what I did and what the sport's done for me with the old.
It's easy for Kim to say that when you've been at the top of your game, Mr. Olympia. You know, it's very easy to do that.
Tell us about your own show, and you've been to it, right?
Oh yeah, it's a local show. It's the Missouri State Bodybuilding Championships, and my husband Chad, he's the chairman for Missouri and Kansas for the National Physique Committee, and we put it on every July, and it's grown to be a very big show. He took over the chairmanship there. We've been there, we took it over like 5 years ago, and we started out with an athlete base in Missouri of, I think, 50 athletes. It was really dwindling, really dying, and today we have close to 1,000 athletes in Missouri. So, I mean, not to really pump ourselves up or anything, but we've really, really worked hard and really tried to build the sport up in Missouri.
How did you like it when you were there, Mike, in Missouri?
It's fantastic.
The Show Me State.
Anything I do with Tim is just fantastic. It always works out well. And any guest pose, I try to do the best that I can to give the audience their money's worth. I had a great time out there.
How many?
He really does, too. Yeah. Everybody loves it.
I love what I do. I love what I do.
How many guest posings a year do you do?
This year I've actually done 47. I've broken all kinds of records this year.
Wow.
It's not me.
It's quite a bit, yeah. And I'm going to tone it down a little next year because I really want to do well at the Arnold Classic and the Olympia. So.
And all in the United States, or?
No, worldwide.
Worldwide.
Japan, China, Australia, all wherever they want to fly me out and have me do a show, I'm there.
And Kim, you've traveled the world too, I'll bet, as Miss Olympia.
Yeah, I've really done a lot of traveling, and I've been able to go over to Europe. Haven't gone to any of the Asian countries yet, but I've had a couple of invites now, and actually getting ready to go in December to the Netherlands, which I'm really looking forward to. And I've actually been starting to get a lot more opportunities as far as appearances. Now they want me more that I've trimmed down. So, I mean, but hey, if I can still make money at it after I retire, that's great. But we just got an invitation to do a Middle Eastern tour. But in retrospect of what's going on over there right now, I think I'm going to have to decline. It'd be really good because Egypt was one of the stops, and I would love to go there, but safety first.
Well, that would be a great photo session.
Yeah.
In front of the pyramids.
Yeah.
That's like one of my dream places to go to, but I want to wait till a little safer time here before I go over there.
Wait till it calms down a little bit. I recently declined an offer to go over there too. Wait till things calm down.
One of the other stops is Kuwait, so I might.
Yeah, we don't want to get into politics on this show. This is a bodybuilding show.
Exactly.
Well, bodybuilding will fix all that.
Yeah.
We unite all countries. No.
This is true.
Really, but that is true because we start to think about it, and all the shows pretty much. I mean, there's several shows that are over in Europe, but like the big shows, the Olympias, they're pretty much over here all the time now. And you really start to think, and you forget a lot of times that everyone's from other countries because we're all like one big family. So we do all unite, and we all pretty much are like one federation instead of countries pitted against each other.
That's right. It's amazing. Even the fan base, not just the competitors, but the fan base that comes over here is worldwide. You see people from Europe. You see people from all over the Asian countries that come here, and it's just amazing how when they get to the contest, everything just focuses on bodybuilding. All the other pretenses are just left behind.
Yeah, I heard a lot of different languages walking around the fitness expo today.
Oh yeah, you do, and it makes me feel ignorant as a person. I wish I could speak more languages, because there are so many great fans from different countries that you just want to have a great conversation with them, but you can't, So actually, I've tried to learn, a little bit enough to say, hi, I think you're great, thank you, in several, different languages. I'm trying to learn at least so that when I go over, or like if I go somewhere, I'll prepare a speech. I probably couldn't even recite one now, but at the time, I know enough to sit there and say it, and it helps you relate to the crowd better. And I know the words that I'm saying, but don't know if they're coming out right, so hopefully they do.
Were you nervous at this point in the evening when you were competing, just before you would go on stage?
Actually, not so much at this point, because the routine round was always the fun round for me. But what the nervous part for me was that top six, the final call out of the top six, where we're doing the last set of mandatories and getting ready for medal presentations. Kim
Chevesky, four-time Miss Olympia, thank you for coming up to the booth, Kim.
Thank you.
It was great seeing you. When's the next time we'll see you?
First weekend in March 2001 at the Miss Fitness International Arnold Classic Weekend.
You got it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, we're going to take a look at the stage now on our monitor and see what's happening there, because the house lights have gone down, and that would be a good signal that the show is about to start here. After a little bit of delay, I hear the music, and that's a good sign.
Here comes the Joe Weir theme song, and I believe it's time to kick it off.
Let me point out once again that we are bringing you the Mr. Olympia contest tonight live from Las Vegas. And the webcast is sponsored by Bodionics Pinnacle, presented exclusively on Flex Online and MuscleandFitness.com. Another sponsor, American Bodybuilding. My name is Joe Amato, and I'm joined by Mike Matarazzo in the booth. We're happy that you...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2000 Mr. Olympia competition. To start tonight's proceedings, here to present the American flag is the Nellis Air Force Base Honor Guard, and singing the national anthem, former Mr. Olympia, Chris Dickerson. Can we please all rise?
So the color guard leaves the podium. That was an outstanding performance there by Chris Dickerson from New York.
Incredible. I had no idea what a wonderful voice he had. He was such a great bodybuilder. He's also a great singer.
I understand that he was...
And now, the president of the IFBB, Ben Weeder, and the creator of the Mr. Olympia event, Joe Weeder.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Federation of Bodybuilders, I welcome you to the annual Joe Weeder Mr. Olympia competition. This competition is without a doubt the most important and the most prestigious contest in the world. So you sit back, and I can tell you I've seen the bodybuilders backstage. They're going to drive you crazy when you try to decide who is the winner. So imagine what the judges are going to go through. I'd like to bring to your attention that the Mr. Olympia competition, when it was first organized in 1965, had a budget of $15,000 and the prize money was $1,000. This weekend, the budget is over $1 million and we're giving $425,000 as prizes. And the prize money will continue to increase every year. The creator of the Olympia competition is with us. It was his idea, his inspiration that created the Joe Weeder Mr. Olympia, the competition that bears his name. I would very much appreciate if you will show him your appreciation by giving him a nice round of applause, my brother Joe. At this time, very briefly, I would like to acknowledge a few important people. First, my friend and colleague Jim Mannion, who's the president of the National Physique Committee of the USA. He's also the chairman of the Judges Committee, and he's responsible for the selection of the judges and the supervision of the judges. And Jim also plays a very important role in organizing this and other events. He's a key man in the IFBB. I also wish to thank Charlie Blake, who is the creator and the designer of this stage. I think you will agree that it's a magnificent stage, and it took a lot of imagination and foresight to create it. I'd like to acknowledge in the audience the father of bodybuilding of China. Lu Zuyu traveled from Shanghai. He's been working with me for the last 40 years to develop bodybuilding in China, and we're very proud to have him. I don't know where he's seated, but he's someplace here. The other person I would like to introduce, the last one, is a very special person from Singapore. He actually created the bodybuilding movement in Singapore with our help and support. He's been the vice president of the IFBB, and through his efforts and high motivation and dedication, bodybuilding is now accepted as a medal sport in the Asian Games. That's a major, major step forward. I would like to take this time to say thanks to a very special fellow. Both he and his committee have been working a full year to make sure that this competition would be the best ever. He's done everything from A to Z. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you to applaud Wayne D'Amelia. Wayne? The Olympic Committee had a meeting while they were in Sydney, Australia, and the Executive Board approved our recognition, and I'm talking about permanent recognition because we've been recognized by the IOC for the last 2 years. That's under Rule 25. Any new federation has to receive a 2-year probation period. We've passed that period. So now I'm just waiting for an official letter from Mr. Samaranch to make it officially official. Whoever thought back in 1945, when the Federation was created, that one day we would be recognized by the Olympic movement? It's like a dream that has become a reality. Now, I want to thank just one more group of people. I want to thank you, the fans, because without you, there would be no federation. Without you, there would be no sport. And I want to thank you for coming from all over the world, from all the corners of the USA, to support us. Your loyalty and friendship is very, very important to us, and it stimulates us to keep going and to work harder. So thank you very, very much for coming this evening.
I'm not going to say much, but I assure you, of all the bodybuilders I've seen all through the years, this is going to be the greatest group you ever saw. Below your brain. So enjoy the show.
Earlier this year, bodybuilding lost its first legend, Steve Reeves. We felt tonight would be appropriate for a short video tribute to Hercules, Steve Reeves.
Earlier this year, the world of bodybuilding lost its first superstar, Steve Reeves. Let's take a look back at Steve in some of his most memorable movies.
Who are you? Where do you come from? I'm Captain Morgan, these are my men. We have captured a Spanish galleon and want to join you.
Oh, you want to join us? There's something you must know before that. Here, everybody takes orders from me, eh?
Anything else? I want these women. And I want you to give me supplies for my men. Incidentally, I always get what I'm after. Don't forget that. That's to remind you that my men only take orders from me.
Oh, you want to play games with me? Very well. I would pray if I were you, you will need all the help you can get.
brutality, savagery, and passion, is told in a legend that will live forever. The Trojan Horse.
Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer presents Steve Hercules Reeves as the son of Spartacus in The Slave. Steve Reeves faces his greatest challenge as the son of Spartacus. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer presented more spectacular excitement than the thundering thrills of the Giant of Marathon. Steve Reeves, the star you cheered as Hercules and as Goliath, now heroically portrays the first great champion of the Olympic Games, whose race from Marathon to Athens not only saved his country from destruction, but sets a pattern for the great marathon race which has crowned the Olympics ever since.
Night's world of enchantment and adventure, and meet The Thief of Baghdad. Now the giant motion picture theater screen becomes a wondrous magic carpet to carry you into a fabulous world of magic and mystery.
Steve Reeves will live on forever in the annals of bodybuilding history.
And now, the Village People.
I'm Joe Amato here with Mike Matarazzo, and as I said before, due to contractual obligations, we're not allowed to show you the Village People in concert on stage here tonight. Did all that legal mumbo-jumbo. But, you know, you've seen them before. More importantly, we have six-time Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates, up here in the booth with us. Dorian, good to have you up here.
How you doing, Joe? Thanks for having me.
And after watching that Steve Reeves tribute, I was wondering, either two of you, one or two, you want to take your shirt off and go at it right now? How was going around? No way.
I don't think so. I get my shirt on these days.
Going it's great to see you. Look great in that suit and everything like that. What's it like being back here at Mr. Olympia?
It's getting easier. The first couple of years were kind of hard because I felt like I did want to get up there, you know. But I'm getting used to being on the other side of the fence now, so to speak.
You miss the competition?
Yeah, I do miss, in a way, I miss that goal, aiming for that goal. But I'm getting more comfortable with the role I'm in right now, being, you know, involved more in the business side of the sport and, you know, able to relax a little bit and watch the guys. And I don't envy all the dieting and everything they've been through the last few months, that's for sure.
Tell us about a little bit of the business side of the sport, and then I know Mike has some questions for you.
Yeah, I'm involved in my own company, Dorian Yates Approved. We've got a range of supplements for bodybuilders and athletes. And next week I'm co-promoting the British Grand Prix, which of course is, you know, all the guys from the Olympia. They're coming over to England, so the English fans get a chance to see everybody as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
And here you are live on the World Wide Web, Dorian. That's never happened before.
Yeah, this is something new. Of course, didn't have this around when I was competing, and it's exciting, you know. Maybe it's the way forward. More people can get to see the contest live, which is great.
Somewhere around the world. Go ahead, Mike.
Dorian, such a tenacious bodybuilder. I know you changed the face of bodybuilding when you won your first Mr. Olympia. So many guys, including myself, changed the way they train, changed the way they try to look because of the incredible amount of dense muscle tissue on your body. Have you seen anybody up there that can compare yourself as far as the muscle mass or muscular density?
Well, there's a few guys up there, incredible muscle mass. Obviously, Ronnie Coleman, the new Mr. Olympia. I mean, the guy's incredible muscle size, great conditioning and proportion. Marcus Wall, of course, carrying a tremendous amount of muscle also. And I think bodybuilders have changed the way they approach their training and their nutrition as opposed to like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And I believe it's that more than anything else is like directly responsible for these guys being a lot bigger now, you know.
Now, how about that? When I know you and I both have been to many meetings, and hear Sean and Ray bring up the fact that the guys are getting too big, they're getting out of control. What is your view on that? Do you think that it has anything to do with?
I don't know quite what Sean's comments were because I wasn't there, but I know Sean usually has something to comment on pretty much everything. But if that was his comment, like guys getting too big, I don't really think you can put a limit on it. It's like if you're running the 100 meters, then you can't say to the guys, oh, listen guys, I think you're running a little too fast now, you know. It's like things are always progressing, and people say to me, oh, Dorian, you're incredible, you ever see a physique bigger than that, better than that? Hey, of course you will, you know, it's that things never stand still.
Well, I don't know about that, Dorian. I've competed against you a few times. Just being on stage and backstage with you, I have to tell you, and I know I've told you this personally, one of the, if not the most impressive physiques I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know if there's anybody coming up or in the future that can really compare to your density. And I do think a big part of that is because you're such a barbarian in the gym. I've never seen anybody train as hard as you in the gym. That's a big part.
Well, it was that side of the sport that really appealed to me and that I enjoyed, you know. Basically, I saw it as a challenge, you know, a physical challenge, but more importantly, a mental challenge. Always trying to break down barriers on a Mr. Olympia stage, but not only that, on like a daily basis. I'm always trying to improve myself, and that's what appealed more to me about the sport than anything else, you know. Getting on stage in your underwear and stuff like that, that was like, you know, that's part of it, but that wasn't the thing that really got me into it.
Yeah, we have the same view. I really enjoy getting into the gym and training, you know.
Thanks, Mike, for your compliments and the checks in the post.
No, Dorian, you know I've always felt that way about you. I have most respect for you.
Thank you. Blood and guts, yeah. Yeah, book and a video, and that's kind of the attitude, you know, like a warrior mentality, and that's what the sport's all about. And unfortunately, I think we lose that a little bit in modern bodybuilding, where guys are concentrating too much on other things and not realizing that basically you can get as technical as you like, but it basically still comes down to good old-fashioned hard work, and that's what separates the guy in first place and the guy in second, the guy in third, because they're all incredible genetically. The guys up here, they're all freaks, they're all incredible. So how do you separate the guy from one, second, 10th place? It's the amount of dedication and hard work, and I believe that's why I was Mr. Olympia. I believe that's why Ronnie Coleman's Mr. Olympia, and who's going to be Mr. Olympia next, that's going to be the reason, nothing else.
And getting back to Dorian's video, I just want to make a comment. If you want an incredibly motivating video, I have it in my collection. It's unbelievable. Every once in a while when I'm down in the dumps, I crank it into my VCR, I put it on, and he pushes me right back into the gym. It's really a serious, serious video.
Yeah, everybody says, hey Dorian, I got your video, man, and every day I play it before I go to the gym. That's what everybody says,
And it's true, and that's what it's all about.
Hold on, I just want to get my IFB plug. Go ahead, Mike. I've lost my own audio.
Another thing, Dorian, let me ask you. When you see new faces coming on the scene, do you have any impressions about some of the new guys that you've seen up here tonight, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, we've got relatively new guys like Marcus, incredible mass, obviously, and Jay Cutler is a guy I feel has potential because he's got very good proportions, and that's something you can't buy, you either got it or you don't. But as of yet, I don't see that he's really got into great shape and made the most of it, but I think the potential is there anyway. But there really doesn't seem to me to be as many guys coming into the sport as there were, 5, 10 years ago. Every year you're getting 3 or 4 new faces, guys going to the top. If you look at the top 6, you're probably going to find most of the guys pretty much veterans in the sport. Flex Wheeler, Ronnie, Sean Ray, Kevin. They've all been around, 8, 10 years, so we need new faces coming in, definitely.
Well, there should be, in my opinion, there should be more guys in the show. There's only 13. I think there should be about 20.
It's usually around 20 competitors, so 13 is a low number, so maybe that's a little disappointing.
I believe when I started broadcasting the Mr. Olympia contest in '94, the show, of course, that you won, there were a lot more guys that year.
Yeah, it's always in the high teens, low 20s usually. I don't know the reason less people have qualified this year, or some guys have dropped out. Paul Dillette's not here. Chris Cormier's not here, of course. Chris was the guy that could have done really potentially some damage this year. Looking for him to be right up there, but for various reasons he can't make it. Paul's out because of injury reasons. So maybe that's a little disappointing for the fans,
I believe that's just going to make this contest that much more competitive next year. All the guys, myself included, who are not up there this year, will be this year next year. I think you're going to see a much bigger lineup.
Doesn't he look great in the suit?
Dorian always looks great. I've never seen Dorian look bad. Smooth operator, man.
I don't really feel comfortable in suits, but you gotta make an effort, right?
What do you think about the show being in Las Vegas? Last year was the first year here. They brought it back. They had such a great success last year. They're back this year. What do you think walking around in Vegas?
I think, in my opinion, you can't find a better place to have this contest. Vegas is an exciting town. There's a lot of things for people to do. The venue here is great. The trade show, the hotel, the venue is all in one facility. It's incredible, and Vegas is a show town, so this is ideal.
Do you gamble?
I don't gamble. I like to calculate the odds.
You don't like when the odds are stacked against you?
No. I like to be in control,
The way he was on the Olympia stage.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about some of the contestants tonight, and did you see some of the prejudging?
I saw some of the prejudging, yeah.
My opinion was that Ronnie Coleman has put on even more muscle than a year ago, and I remember thinking last year, how could anybody be this big?
Yeah, I believe that he's probably heavier, possibly has more muscle, but I don't think his conditioning is as good as last year, and definitely not as good as the first year he won the contest. So, it depends what you prefer. It's a little bit more muscle, but less conditioning. Personally, even though I was known for having muscle mass, I always preferred to be on the side of caution and come in really tight rather than trying to be too big,
What was it like for you at this time of the evening? You haven't gone on stage yet. You guys are backstage pumping up or doing whatever it is to get ready. What were your thoughts always at about this time of the night?
My thoughts were, I can't wait to get my check,
Wow, you're a winner, man.
He knew before the night was over. I mean, he was too tough to beat, man.
To be honest, I was always very confident when I went to the contest, but you never know what's going to happen. But I think after the prejudging, you really can tell pretty much where you're placing,
How many Mr. Olympias did you compete in before you won?
Just one in 91, where I got second to Lee Haney.
Was that in Helsinki, Phil?
That was in Florida. Yeah, the first time I won was in Helsinki.
Well, you saw a great champion himself, Lee.
Lee Haney was an incredible champion. It was an inspiration for me when I was coming up. Not only for his physique, but his conduct as an athlete and as a champion. I think he set a good example there,
And what was it like for you, Mike, standing next to Dorian Yates?
It was scary when I had the pleasure and misfortune of being next to Dorian sometimes, but it was always a pleasure being out there with the consummate champion.
Dorian, thanks for coming up to the booth. We appreciate it. It's great to see you.
Thanks, Dorian.
We're going to go back down to the podium now to the Mr. Olympia Contest 2000 and our MC, Mike Adamley.
Hey, one more time for the village people. How about it? Wait a minute. You don't like these guys? At least where I come from, back in the Midwest, they're more popular now than they were back in 1977. And back in 1977, if you admitted that you liked YMCA and Macho Man, people kind of looked at you funny. But I like the village people. I think they're terrific. So right on, guys. Just like the sport of bodybuilding, right? Music is a very subjective thing. Thank you. Welcome to the 2000 Mr. Olympia competition, and in just a few moments, this event center will turn into, if you've seen this before, you know what I'm talking about, a garden of the gods, a pantheon of muscle symmetry. Last night, we crowned 3 champions in the women's division. Andrula Blanchette from England, she won the lightweight division, Miss Olympia. The heavyweight title went to Valentina Terpega. She's here in the audience tonight. Valentina. They both looked superb, and last night, Susie Curry won the fitness competition. But that just set the stage for tonight because it's the big boys' turn. And if the prejudging was any indication what we saw back there, tonight's competition is going to be awesome. This is the 36th edition of the Mr. Olympia competition, yet there have only been 10 winners. The names are legendary, of course. You know them: Oliva, Franco, Arnold, Lee Haney, Dorian, and of course the reigning champion going after the three-peat tonight, Ronnie Coleman. But we thought it'd be very fitting this evening, this 36th annual Mr. Olympia competition, to reconnect the past with the present and bring up some of the stars, some of the champions of yesteryear to co-host MC this event tonight. It all began in 1965, back at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. He was the sport's first superstar. Please welcome, and he looks great, Larry Scott. As I was reading, tonight's winner is going to get a paycheck that's going to be in the 6 figures. Back in 1965, Larry, you received what? Squat?
No, I got a crown with an Imperial Margarine crown.
Actually, it did look like a pair of margin cuffs.
What do you remember about those early days?
Oh man, I tell you, there's a lot to remember. It was as exciting as it is tonight. The winners weighed about 100 pounds less than the guys tonight would. There's a big difference in the size and the cuts, and the way the physique has changed has been incredible. But you know, there's some things that haven't changed, and that is the warmth that you feel from the friends that you know in the audience. And after 36 years, you can hear with me, okay? After 36 years of doing this, you build friends that when you meet them and you see all these familiar faces, that I want you to know this. It's as nice as winning the Olympia. It's just wonderful to see all of you. And
obviously the respect is mutual, Larry.
Thank you very much. There are some specific people here that we want to recognize and just let them know how much we appreciate their association and what they've done for us over the years. So why don't you start off?
Well, since you were one of the first superstars in this sport, we want to talk about two other legends. They are here tonight. In 1953, this guy won the Mr. Universe title. I saw him yesterday at the Expo. He still looks terrific. Mr. Bill Pearl. Billy, where are you?
Invite Bill out there?
He's there, trust me. He wouldn't miss this for anything. Also, I think they're going to do a carbon-14 test to really find out how old he is, because he'll never admit it. He'll never admit it, and he looks, another guy who looks absolutely terrific, Mr. Albert Beckles. Awesome. Also a great actor, dancer, and aficionado of bodybuilding, Gregory Hines is here tonight. We'd like to recognize him as well. Also, one of our judges this evening, we were going to introduce a lot of the legends and some of the history of the sport of bodybuilding. One of the co-stars, and there were many in that movie back in the 70s, Pumping Iron, Mike Cass, one of our judges tonight. Yeah, we wouldn't want to forget Lou Ferrigno. Where is he? It's not. Where is he?
And there's a couple that I want to call particular attention to. And after you've done this for 36 years, and you see people year after year after year, you begin to get a feeling of the kind of a character they are, the personality they are, the friend that they are. And I wish you knew these other two people as I know them. You see him and you hear him a lot. He's always saying, "Quarter turn to the right, or is it to the left? Quarter turn to the left. Quarter turn to the left." Wait a minute, I tell you, I've known him for 36 years, and he is just as genuine and as wonderful as he was that first day. Could you please just give a hand to Wayne DeMilla? He's wonderful. Is that all you got? Give him some. He deserves it. And then one other person before we get into this exciting Olympia contest. I want to call attention to a very dear friend of mine that 100 years from now, he and I are going to meet, and I'm going to say this. I can say, you know, you were the best friend I had in this life. And I mean that. Would you please give Joe Weider a magnificent hand? And I saw one of my favorite bodybuilders walking through the hall today, Lee Labrada. Where's Lee? And she got a great physique. I know you're out there somewhere, Lee.
Well, we want to get this competition underway, as Judge Bill Blaine would say here in Las Vegas. Let's get it on. Competitor number 1, 34 years old, 5'10", 248. He is competing in his 9th Mr. Olympia. The Baltimore, Maryland Muscle Machine. He was second in this event in 92 and 95, third in 94 and 96. Tonight he wants the whole enchilada. I just talked to him backstage. He said he is going to blow your mind Because he has a rock band, he's going to rock the house as well, called Full Blown. He's a vocalist, he's a Renaissance man. And he says the correct pronunciation of his name is Kevin Levrone. Come on out, babe.
Man with a plan, to every judge that has judged me, to every photographer and writer that poured their hearts and souls out so the world can see, and to all my fans and loved ones that cried for me. This one's for you, baby.
Once again, live on the World Wide Web. Once again, live on the World Wide Web, you're watching the Mr. Olympia contest on Flex Online and MuscleandFitness.com. I'm Joe Amato, up in the Sky Booth with Mike Matarazzo, and our first contestant finally is 35-year-old Kevin Levrone, who looks great.
Unbelievable. Kevin is an incredible athlete. This is a crowd. He gets them going. This man goes from head to toe. He's really on tonight. He's really on. Kevin, again, I know very personally, he does not like to lose.
And the fans here are just thrilled to have somebody on stage, and they are really pumping him up. One look for him to go first.
Kevin is a worldwide favorite. Probably one of the best bodybuilders that ever existed. Has one of the best records in bodybuilding. And I believe he's going to continue that streak after tonight. He just looks incredible.
Wow, what a roaring start, finally, to the Mr. Olympia contest. Kevin told me he wrote a song for the show. You know, he has his band Full Blown. He wrote a song for the show called Pressure. And he's really great with lyrics.
Yeah, Kevin seems to be able to do anything well. I've known him for about 11 years now, and anything that he touches, he seems to turn to gold. Getting the crowd into it. Great performer as well as a great athlete.
Oh, yeah. He is pulling this crowd up on stage with him practically.
The great thing about Kevin, again, he's not a professional. He doesn't like to leave any of his fans left out. He wants to get them at all angles. Great job, Kevin.
His 9th Olympia appearance, Kevin Levrone. You can find him at www.fullblown.com, www.kevinlevrone.com. He wanted me to tell you that.
Any questions? Told me backstage he was in the best shape of his life. I think that's pretty apparent. Next up, Larry, do the honors.
This next contestant was born the year I won Mr. Olympia. Believe that? Yeah, that's how it goes. Not only that, he's not the only one, but he's competed in 12 consecutive Mr. Olympia contests. He's the only one to have competed in 3 consecutive decades of Mr. Olympia. Let's show Sean Ray what you think of him.
It's amazing, Mike. 11 Mr. Olympia appearances.
Sean Ray is another one. He's just always on. I can't say nothing about this man. He just knows how to pose, he knows how to get in shape, and he has just basically perfect lines. I'd like to know Sean was one of the youngest guys to turn pro. I believe he turned pro at age 18 or 19.
He was 19, and he made the cover of Flex magazine that year, too.
Really incredible career. Sophomore.
And
best shape I've seen Sean Ray in years. He really has it all together. He's forward, he's tired, he's separated, and he's a total package. That's his clothes right there. Again, Sean's trademark smile. Great smile up there. Always has a lot of fun.
Always picks this kind of closing music, too. Soft, romantic.
This is his style.
Wow, big back.
He really looks great.
The fans were loving it. Sean Ray.
Sean Ray, ladies and gentlemen.
Great routine, buddy.
Began competing when he was 17 years old, competing in his 12th Mr. Olympia tonight. He's never been better. I'd like to thank Larry Scott again, too, for coming up here. Incidentally, Mets 3, Yankees 2, Yankees 3. Oh, Mets 3, Yankees 2, bottom of the 8th. He won the Mr. Olympia crown back in 1967, 68, and 1969. I talked to Arnold Schwarzenegger about this man one time. He said that he was the only man that he was ever really intimidated by in a bodybuilding contest. He said he saw this man take off his coat and this gigantic lat spread, and Arnold went, "Ach, du lieber mein Gott!" We are, of course, talking about the man known as simply the Myth. Please welcome the great Sergio Oliva! And the man still looks like he could compete today. Could you? 20 years old? Would you like to be 20 years old again?
19. Good evening and welcome. It is a great pleasure to be here and see all you guys again. It's lovely. What you're going to see behind this stage, you're not going to believe it. These men today, they come unbelievable. What I saw back there, I thought it was a cow. People used to be scared by me, but this is nothing. You're terrified. You know, I see all these brave guys back there, and your heart go rumble and rumble, and it makes you feel so good. When I was coming down in the hallway, someone said, "You came 20 years too soon." I get this right. All right. Hey. Here I am, baby. The king is not dead. Long live the king. Before I bring this, whatever you want to call in the bag, I want you glue in the chair. If you don't have a glue, you better put the gum in there, because it's exciting. Before I bring this gentleman, I want to say hello to one beautiful lady that sits there. Beautiful not by the face, you know, by the heart. Straight lady. Never see her to tell anybody like it is, including Arnold and myself. With great respect, I want to say hello to Betty Williams. Where is she? And now, the moment that you've been waiting. I don't know how many times he went to Mr. Olympia and how many more he's going to get it, but you know who it is. My heart is pumping. The honor there. Now bring the other.
You can't blame him, can you? Wow, and wait till you see him. Next up, however, 30 years old, 5'6", 218, competing in his second Mr. Olympia competition. His nickname, The Blade, because he always comes razor sharp. Third in this year's Ironman. Fifth in the Arnold Classic. He says he's not burned out, even though this is his third major competition of the season. We're about to find out. Please welcome The Blade, Dexter Action Jackson.
Mike, I don't know what to say about Sergio Oliva. He was a character.
Sergio took the charity races contest. I believe his hat still so involved with the sport that he wants to jump on stage himself.
I think so. All right, here's Dexter Jackson. He's some package himself.
Yeah, Dexter, recently new in the scene, but very, very fast rising star. Just incredibly genetically gifted package right now. Hard to believe that man's just 218 pounds.
Dexter's from Jacksonville, Florida. Down there, when he's walking around on the streets in town, people think he's playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Can you blame him?
Looks like a strong safety to me.
He always looks like he's wearing shoulder pads.
Is that what you call muscle density?
He's incredibly dense bodybuilder. He has a lot of thick muscle mass in his frame. Great separation, too.
Mr. Jackson from Jacksonville, Florida.
Another great routine by Zach Scott. He's got the ladies really wild up in that routine.
Dexter Jackson.
All right, Sergio, you're on, baby.
They tried to confuse me. It works. Anyway, let's bring this incredible man, 20 pounds heavier than the last year, two-time Mr. Olympia, coming in unbelievable shape, Ron Foreman.
Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman. I don't think he's got 20 more pounds, but he is bigger.
No, if he had 20 more pounds on his body, he'd fill up that entire stage. He's just incredible, though. You look at this man, you wonder, where can he put any more muscle?
Every time you come around me, I get
Look at that back, those lats popping out.
The most incredible back in bodybuilding history, I believe, right there. Dorian was noted for his back, Lee Haney for his, but this man's back is just like something out of a comic book.
I wanna know.
That's what he's noted for right there. That pose is just unbelievable.
There's really nothing to say here. It doesn't even look incredible. It doesn't look.
Officer Cole. We have a report of a major disturbance over at the Mandalay Bay. People over there impersonating Mr. Olympia. Get over there and break it up right now.
In case you don't know, Ronnie Coleman is a police officer in Arlington, Texas. He has a full-time job.
It's really amazing. That's someone I don't think you'd want to get pulled over by right there. Ronnie told me they have a special budget just to put out, make clothes that fit him for the force.
He told me, he says, he's thrilled to be here, but he said, I got to go back to work on Tuesday.
That's a fact. He's going to put back in the bandwagon.
Holy cow.
Unbelievable to see a man of that size have spy these moves. It's just amazing. Try competing against that. Very intimidating.
Try following him, right? And seeing the next guy out.
That's incredible, yeah.
The defending champion, Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman, live on the World Wide Web on Flex Online and MuscleandFitness.com. Our coverage brought to you by Bodionics Pinnacle. Live here from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas.
Incredible separation in Ronnie's muscle belly. Just outstanding.
like.
Right.
I don't blame him.
An arresting performance by the police officer from Arlington, Texas. And you know, this just didn't happen overnight. This is a man, Ronnie Coleman, who paid his dues. Been in this business a long time. Back in 1992 with the Mr. Olympia. Finished 15th. What'd you think, man?
I told you. Haba, haba, haba. You're not so bright. I gotta go. I love you, and God bless them all.
We love you too, Sergio. Sergio Oliva. Well, like Sergio, our next co-MC won 3 consecutive Mr. Olympia titles in 1977, 1978, 1979. It was known that period of time as the Reign of Zayn. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I mean, I know you're not supposed to say words like this, men to men, but he was beautiful. He was a piece of art. And I love this one. Frank Zane. Is that your signature pose?
Good, I have my jacket on.
You know, I thought we were talking backstage. A lot of former athletes who were great in their halcyon days can't bear to watch themselves because it's a little painful. Here they were at the pinnacle of their physical prowess, and now they can't do what they once did. I know that was the same for me, a lot of football players, but you like watching yourself way back when, right?
Well, I have in my private gym, I have all my, not all of them, but whatever I could fit on the wall, my magazine covers. And when I used to look at those covers right when they were taken, I would always think, boy, you know, I still have a long way to go. But now when I look at them, I think, I wish I still looked like that. But I'm still training hard, and I love every minute of it. And I can be 60 in about a year and a half, and I want to make a real splash at it.
Frank, what do you remember most about your 3 Mr. Olympia titles, and which was the toughest to win?
They were all tough, you know, and when I looked at the scorecards, they were all very close. The first year was close, but I think the second year, 1978, was the closest, and I think the third year, going into the, in those days it was different because they decided the actual contest in the pose down, everybody was given points, and when I went into the final pose down, I was actually behind by a point, but I was very confident because of my posing ability, because I practiced a lot. So they were all tough, but I really think my best shape was my last year in '79 that I won it, and I felt the most confident that year.
Speaking of posing, are today's competitors as good as the earlier days, I should say?
Well, you know, it's just incredible what these guys look like. Backstage, I've been up close and talking to them, and it's. I'm just glad I was able to win the title when I did.
It'll still be great today. All right, I know our next contestant. You had a chance to talk to Lee Priest behind the curtains back there. What did he tell you?
Lee's a real modest, humble, nice guy from Australia, and he said his biggest thrill was to be able to bring his grandparents to the show here tonight and around in the audience. And it was Lee's grandfather that got him started training. He said it would be raining outdoors, and he wouldn't want to go to the gym, and his grandfather would be knocking on the door, bringing him out to go to the gym, and his grandfather was still working out into his 70s, and what a tremendous inspiration he must be.
Well, let's bring him out. 3-time Mr. Australia, 28 years old, 5'4", 225. His 4th Mr. Olympia appearance, the wonder from down under, Lee Priest.
Here's a very popular bodybuilder, Lee Priest.
He's definitely a crowd favorite. An incredible package. Hard to believe this man is only 5'4".
box lead start. I want to point out that in the poll of our fans as to who they predicted would win the Mr. Olympia contest, Nasser El Sanbadi, who you have yet to see tonight, is the leader with 33%. Ronnie Coleman behind him with 30%. Flex Wheeler 10%. Lee Priest, who you're seeing right here, with 5% of the vote. That's in the poll that's going on right now on the webpage as well. This guy's dialed in. That's the expression you use, right?
Yeah, Lee is definitely dialed in. He always comes dialed into this contest. I have never seen Lee out of shape. I've done extensive touring with Lee over in Europe, and he stayed in shape for weeks on end.
Those biceps just popping out.
Just incredible arms from this young man. You're talking about a gentleman again who's 5'4" that has 22-inch arms. It's mind-boggling.
Cow with those quads. I'd like to put a tape measure around there, around those legs, and see what we've got.
Yeah, Lee is again noted for incredible quad development. There's a lot of beef around those knees and hamstrings.
And the fans here in Las Vegas now roaring for Lee Priest.
Lee's definitely another crowd favorite.
Came back from the Olympic Games in Australia, and after a great performance, say by swimmer Ian Thorpe, they would say, "That was bloody fast, Dinkum. Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate, Lee." Lee Priest.
That was a beautiful pose.
Aussie, oi, 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 right? We like the name game a little bit.
Yeah.
Our next competitor's first name means the Prince, and you talk to him backstage.
I've known Nasser for quite a while, and he's a real modest, humble guy. He doesn't want much said about him. Just that his name speaks for itself, and it does. His name Nasser, I think, means Prince El Somebody. What a body! This guy has it. He's got huge muscles. He's got a great routine. He's got everything going for him. He lives not too far from me in San Diego, in Solana Beach, I believe. The train's not too far away. But a great competitor and a great person.
Well, he said even though he finished sixth in 1999, you'd be making a very big mistake if you wrote me off. Please welcome Nasser El Somebody.
As I said, Mike, Nasser leads the online poll right now. The fans think he's going to win. Let's see what he looks like. Nasser El Somebody. And talking with Nasser in the pre-judging, he was quite confident.
It'll be interesting to see. Ronnie's going to be hard to beat, but we'll have to see at the end of the show.
a man who comes close every year, real close.
Yeah, he's always shooting for the top spot. Although from what I've seen so far tonight, I've seen Nasser in better condition and also a little larger than he is tonight. I don't know if he was going for that look.
Right, he's not that big block of granite that we've seen before.
Yeah, he's definitely been much larger than he is tonight.
I believe in the past he's been as high as 280 pounds. I don't think he's there now.
No, I would put Nasser in the 260 range tonight. I've competed against Nasser when he was a good 275, good 280, and he really is unbelievably intimidating at that size.
His best moment probably was in 1999 when he won the Arnold Classic. Nasser El Sanbati.
Very grasping team by Nasser.
Nasser El Sanbati speaks 7 different languages. That was great in any language. Frank, give us a sense, though, before you leave, about you watch Nasser out there and you watch our other great champions behind stage, that just how much work and dedication is required to get to this level.
These guys are truly professional. They spend a lot of time training in the gym. I mean, it's not like you have to spend all day training, but it's 2 times a day usually. A couple hours in the morning and then going back in the afternoon, then practicing posing, and then being on a diet all the time for the last 3 or 4 months before. So it's a full-time job, and it's more demanding than just about any other activity that I know. I know how much work it was for me, and to look like this, I can imagine what it must be like today.
Well, you look like that back in the late 70s. We appreciate you being here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Zane, the great Frank Zane. To my way of thinking, there is no more difficult song to sing in the entire world than our national anthem, because of all the different octaves. But he hit them all tonight. He also won the Mr. Olympia title back in 1982. He was second in 1980 behind Franco Colombo. He was behind Arnold. Second in 1981 behind Franco. And he won the whole damn thing in 1982 and decided to do it right on stage, retired. He is one of the nice guys in this business. He won the mixed pairs competition with Lynn Conkright back in 1981. Please welcome once again, Chris Dickerson. And how do you hit that high note?
I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I study voice, and it's a very physical thing to do. It's like being an athlete. It's very athletic, the whole thing. You use the whole body, not just the throat.
Being here tonight in the event center, bring back memories of 1983. And what do you remember most about that evening you won the title?
Well, I remember it was in London, and 82. And I was very sort of nervous, but then I felt very confident after 3 judges. And it's very interesting how when you win a competition, you somehow know. And I think if you don't know, you may not. Chances are that's not your year. It's weird. It's really weird.
But you have to have that knowledge. And I think among our favorites tonight, there's not a single guy here who doesn't think they're going to walk out of here with the title, with the trophy.
Yeah, you could say that. Everybody wants it, but only one guy gets it that evening.
Well, I know our next 2 competitors are getting very antsy back there.
This man, it's sort of unfair that I get to announce him because I see him at my gym every day. But luck of the draw, Orville is one of the biggest men I've ever seen. He is very, very, very attuned to his body. And this is his third, he was third in this year's Night of the Champions. And this is his first Mr. Olympia effort. And he's from Jamaica originally, a native New Yorker now, and a good friend, and works his tail off in the gym. You gotta see him. My good friend, Orville Burke.
And Mike, although this is his first Olympia appearance, Orville is the oldest contestant in the show tonight at age 38. The gym that Chris Dickerson was talking about is Steel Gym on 23rd Street in Manhattan. So Orville here representing the Northeast by himself.
The East Coast. I recently just found out how old he was his age, and I just couldn't believe it. I had no idea he was 38 years old.
You're not going to believe this, Mike, but Orville Burke used to train me.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was my trainer about 4 years ago when I was kind of serious about putting on some size, and he did. He jump-started my workouts.
Did he seriously put the hurt on you or what?
He did, man. It was a hurt. No doubt about it. It was very methodical workout that we would do. And he is a serious trainer himself.
You can tell just from his muscle density how serious Orville trains.
Well, that back is popping out there.
I think he's going to be known in the business for having an incredible back. Probably one of the best in the business already.
Well, for our fans watching on their computers in Jamaica, hey, your boy grew up to be a big Olympia contender.
Here's your man. He's doing a great job for his first Olympia.
There you go, Orville Burke.
He told us before the competition that he was going to bring some weapons tonight that were going to open a lot of eyes. Were your eyes open there?
I think every muscle in his body is a weapon. The guy is wonderful. He's growing so fast. More finesse on stage. Just better. Everything is just growing. He just gets better and better.
Okay, let's go to our next competitor. 27 years old, 5'9", 250. Won this year's Night of Champions. The last IFBB show before the Mr. Olympia. His mindset isn't worried about where he's going to place, just focus on being the best he can possibly be. Please welcome Jay Cutler.
Night of Champions winner Jay Cutler.
It's been a great year for Jay so far.
A fellow, he's a Massachusetts native as well, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He came just a little bit after I turned pro, and, you know, they grow big back east.
They do. Jay with a lot of confidence on stage. This is his second Mr. Olympia appearance.
Jay has all the right tools to even someday win this show. 27 years old. His body, believe it or not, is still growing.
Jay Cutler live on the World Wide Web. We'd also like to thank American Bodybuilding for sponsoring this webcast tonight. American Bodybuilding. It's a field of 13 athletes tonight. Jay, number 8. So there's still plenty of beef to come.
Jay's doing a great job. Good music, getting the crowd involved.
I noticed that Jay gets a lot of pub in the magazines.
Well, you know, he's a rising star. He's a very popular guy. He has a very, very individual look to him, and a lot of people like that. A lot of people are attracted to that. I've done a lot of work with Jay. He's a great personality.
Also want to mention, make sure you check out this month's Flex, the Bible of hardcore bodybuilding, giving you the ultimate info on training, nutrition, contest reports, and gossip from around the sport. Also at newsstands everywhere is Muscle and Fitness Magazine, the publication that gives you everything you need to lead a healthier, more fit lifestyle. And you're watching, of course, this contest tonight on Flex Online and MuscleandFitness.com, live from the desert in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Tonight that's competitive. I'm not just basically coming out there and doing their routines in the middle of the stage and going from end to end, giving the crowd what they paid for.
It's a really wide stage, so you got to fight everybody.
A lot of room to move.
Exhausting is it, Mike, to do a 2-minute routine?
It's incredibly exhausting. People have no idea. You're dehydrated, your body fat is so low, so your energy levels are low, and you've been through an incredible amount of training.
County's Jay Cutler, one of the new big boys on the block. One thing you may not know about Chris Dickerson is that when he won his title in 1983, he was the oldest man ever to win a Mr. Olympia title at the age of 43. Jay, just 27, Chris. He's got a fit future. When is a bodybuilder peak?
I think a bodybuilder peaks between the ages of 33 and 44. They are the best years. And Jay Cutler has a great future. I mean, the best years are yet to come. He's a puppy. Big one, but a puppy.
Chris, it's always a pleasure to see you again, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Dickerson, Mr. Olympia, 1983. As I mentioned, the night he won that title, he retired on stage, so that left the door wide open. Enter the Lion of Lebanon. Known for those awesome quads, among other things, please welcome 1983 champion Samir Bannout. And the one thing that this man always had immediately, what struck me, you had charisma. Do you love the audience?
You really believe that, guy?
True, yes.
How you doing? Thank you, Mike.
Good, thank you.
I think you have charisma and you need to go help Chicago Bear right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Huh?
How you doing, guys? I'm sure you're having a good time. Even though I won the Mr. Olympia, and I've been to about at least, 15, 20 Mr. Olympia before, I'm still so excited. I'm really happy to be here. So, anyway, I'm still working out. And, no future competition plan. Just want to stay healthy, do the anti-aging, as you can see. Still look pretty young, right? And so, anyway, I'm here to have fun, just like you. And I was just talking to Ronnie Coleman in the back. I said, Ronnie, you know what? I think you guys are doing something a little different than what we were doing then. I said, what do you think? What is it? I think you're really dealing with someone with NASA bringing you some food from outer space somewhere. These guys are freaky beyond imagination. I'm telling you.
You were pretty freaky in your own right in your day.
No. My philosophy is always force versus Cadillac. I like symmetry and harmony. Frank Zane and I were talking about that in the back. But let's face it, these guys are, I can't tell you, they are just beyond my imagination. It's incredible. You have to be back there and see them, it just will blow your mind.
Hey, let's go back to something you once said, that you could still compete because I saw this several years ago in Columbus, Ohio, and what reminded me of it, somebody we didn't introduce tonight, he is one of the great names in bodybuilding as well, Mr. Ed Corney.
Yes. Absolutely.
They have masters competitions. He competed at the age, I think, 65, was it in Columbus 2 years ago?
Yes.
He looked terrific, and I can only imagine what some of you got. You ought to do it. Chris Dickerson, yourself.
I feel like I'm capable of getting back, and really, not to be cocky, but I could win the master. I enjoy the sport. Look, Ed Corney is one of those guys that really inspired me, just like Frank Zane. I was talking to Frank Zane. I used to drive with my dad when he was taking me to work. When he was going to work, he dropped me at school, and I used to look. There's a store in the old country that's back in Lebanon. And we were driving. There's a store that has Frank Zane's pictures on the front window. He's doing that back and pose. So every morning when we get there, I look to the right, my dad said, what's wrong? I'm checking Frank Zane's pictures really quick, So, these guys still inspire me. As far as me getting back to compete, honestly, this is how I feel. If you're a doctor once, there's no need to be a doctor twice. Just want to train and look good, right? You agree, Mike?
I agree completely.
Hey, you're not going to go back and train with Chicago Bulls. I mean, Chicago Bears, are you?
Can't do it.
All right, here's what you did. So.
Speaking of posters on people's walls and everything, I know the next two competitors that you're going to introduce have pictures of Samir Bannout.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. They have a good taste, obviously. Okay, well, we have our next contestant. He's out of Seattle, Washington. I believe he's originally from the Ukraine. His name Oleg Zur. He has won several competitions as a world championship. Please welcome one of the great new star in the sport of bodybuilding. Let's welcome Oleg Zur.
Mike, Oleg Zur, 5'5", 187 pounds.
Yeah, he's really competing in a field of giants. I can really wonder what's going through his head when he stands next to these guys. This is really the first I've ever heard of him, so we'll see what he looks like.
Oleg, as you heard, a native of Ukraine. And I imagine there's a good possibility we have some Ukrainians watching on their computer.
Sure we do. Here's your man right here.
Here's your man right here. It's interesting when, I believe it was Chris Dickerson was at the podium, he said that bodybuilders reach their peak between the ages of 32 and 44. I was happy to hear that, Mike.
I was happy to hear that too, seeing that I'll be 34 this year. And, I tend to believe that muscle maturity plays a lot to do with that.
You always think that the guys in their early 20s are the ones that have it all together as far as muscle and potential and whatever else. But I can see what Chris is talking about. Your muscle comes on more and more as the year goes on. It gets better as the years go on.
You build that initial muscle mass in your early 20s, early teens. But then, as time goes by, you mature that muscle mass into what hopefully is an Olympian physique. always tell the European trademark with the music. A little moonwalking there.
That's interesting. Oleg is still up on the top platform. He hasn't come down to center stage yet.
Very good poser. Very fluid.
It's true, though. All the Europeans have their own different music. Very classic.
They're very classical design to them.
It makes me wonder, because I know a lot with the American bodybuilders, and let me ask you, sometime during the year I imagine that there's a tune that you may hear, it may hit you, may strike you, and you go, oh, that's what I want to use, right?
Oh, definitely. I always hunt for new songs during the year, and I have a pretty good ear to what the people like, and when I hear a good song, I imagine myself on stage, and I put the music to my body.
It makes me wonder, where did Oleg get this from? Did he hear it on the radio, or was he at a concert?
I think he might have heard it on Radio Warsaw. I'm not sure.
Radio Warsaw. Yeah, and he went, wow, I could pose to this.
This is something that will be very difficult for Mike Matarazzo to pose to. But he's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job. Hey, for the little guy, I hate calling him the little guy, but he did a great job.
He really did.
He's got great legs, doesn't he? Great quads.
Yeah, great symmetry in his quads, a lot of mass. And there's a great move right there.
And I think the European flavor, or wherever they come from, just adds to the balance and the overall effect of the show if you're sitting in the audience here or watching at home.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Crowd appreciates it.
Yep, they know he's worked hard.
Yeah, just being up on the Olympia stage, you're a champion.
Oleg from the Ukraine, he said one of the reasons that he's here, he dreamed about this ever since he was a little boy, and his sole reason for being here tonight, because he realizes that this is just part of the dues-paying process, is to be a great representative of European bodybuilding, and I think he did that here. Our next contestant.
Are you ready to see some freak show, guys? Really freak show. Okay, the next contestant is one of the freakiest and really, I would say, a great representative for Germany. Germany is the country where I trained for the agency of Mr. Olympia, and these guys are perfectionists. I trained at Albert Brusek gym in München. That's like 1983. Now you got to see this big, unbelievable monster, in my opinion. He's at 275 pounds. That's his second Mr. Olympia appearance. He came in second at the last year Night of the Champions. And you kids on the blog, but you know what? It scared the hell out of me when I saw him backstage. Anyway, check him out, ladies and gentlemen. We got Marcus Ruhl.
Yeah, here's a guy who the fans just love. When they saw him, they were like, you know, it's just like with you, Mike. They were like, yeah, all right.
Bodybuilding fans love the freaks, and that's just the way it is. And this man is definitely a freak. He is put together. He has a lot of beef in his bones.
I believe it was his appearance at the Night of Champions that caught everyone's attention.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I believe a lot of people thought he might have even should have won that show, and it's only skyrocketed his popularity. Although his body isn't hurting him at all either. It's pretty incredible.
He is the House of Pain.
Yeah, this is the guy that really videos don't do justice. You stand next to this man to realize how truly massive he is.
What'd they say, 275 pounds?
Yeah, I believe he goes for 275 on stage.
That might make him the heaviest guy on the show, I believe.
I believe we'll be between him and Ronnie.
And Ronnie, right.
I have seen him a little sharper. He might have sacrificed a little bit of that sharpness for the extra weight. But when you're that big, you don't care.
Hard to tell the difference.
It really is.
When he's facing the audience, his arms seem, the way they hang off his body, it's sort of cartoonish in a way.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody drew him and then built him.
He has just such incredible deltoid development that it looks like they just stuck along underneath there. Now this is the kind of music that a body like that should be posing to. There you go. When you got beats like that, you crank up the music. Yeah.
Crank it up, Marcus.
See the flash bulbs in the audience going to go off for every talking about muscular poses. It's truly impressive. And they said, "Where's the beef?" Well, there it is.
Oh, my God.
Marcus, you rule.
Wow. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
right, guys, or what?
You know, you said, Samir, that, once you're a doctor, you don't have to be a doctor twice. What are you doing these days?
Well, I'll always love bodybuilding, no doubt about it. I train and want to look good, maybe give exhibition every now and then, try to educate the kids and stuff. Right now, I'm still working in the industry. I teamed with a company called Formulated Sciences. It's a sport nutrition company to the world, and right now we are taking the product worldwide. I'm the representative for the Middle East and the Gulf region. And anyway, look for us, ASAP, you'll find out about that. Besides that, I'm working on a gym franchise in the Gulf and the Middle East region also, with the Samir Banud Powerhouse Gym also. And just stay healthy. I have my wife with me here, and we have our second, that would be my number 4 kid. I have 2 daughters living in Houston, Texas, and I have my new daughter, Leia. She's 2.5 years old. And there's a new one coming up, and I'll stop the production. That's it.
The lion still roars. Samir, great to see you. Samir Banud.
Good to see you. God bless you guys. Have a good time.
Well, after the great Lee Haney ran the table from 1984 through 1991, his successor to the throne was known as the Beast from Britain. And you heard Samir use the phrase or the word freaky, really freaky. This guy, when he came, when it was arrived in the bodybuilding scene, was truly that and then some. The thing that I remember most about Dorian was the fact that he played hurt. He had torn bicep muscles, torn gastrocnemiuses. This guy still went out there, still competed, and still was a champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the great beast from Britain, Dorian Yates. And still immensely popular. Good to see you, man. Pleasure.
Hello, everybody. They got me up here again in a suit. It's the second time I've worn a suit.
Well, you look good in it. Talk about a little bit, working and playing through the pain, because you literally would arrive on some competition night hurting for certain.
Yeah, I had the misfortune of a couple of years, 94 and 97, having relatively serious injuries, getting ready for the competition. But I just had to look at it as another challenge and something to overcome, getting ready for the competition.
Talk about we talked that this is the 36th annual Mr. Olympia contest, yet there's only been 10 winners, and you were one of them with multiple winners. What kind of mindset did you have going into a championship?
Having the correct mindset is pretty much everything in sports, in any sports, I guess. And I think that's what separates the guy that's first place from the guy that's second, because everybody up there is incredibly talented, so it has to be something that separates it, and that's usually what it is. That's Lee Haney's, Ronnie Coleman's, people like that. That's what separates them from the rest, the mental approach.
You guys took it to a new level, you and Lee, and now tonight it seems to be at another level, huh?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, nothing stands still. People were saying, when I was competing, how much bigger can the guys get, how much harder can they get, and everything like that. Surely they can't get any better. But, they were probably saying that back in Arnold's day, and the guys are always getting better, year by year. Nothing stands still.
We'll talk about our next competitor, because I think you competed against him during his early days when he first started.
Yeah, Flex is a good friend of mine, and he came second to me in '93, and people were always saying to me when I was competing, who do you feel is potentially your closest competition? And I always said Flex Wheeler, because the guy's so talented, genetically so gifted, and he always had the potential to be Mr. Olympia.
Well, let's bring him out here. He thought he won the thing last year, his 6th Mr. Olympia competition. 14 titles since he was a pro. The Sultan of Symmetry, Kenneth Flex Wheeler.
Well, the big question this week, Mike, was Flex Wheeler dialed in? Was he on? And I think there was some question 2 days ago whether he was going to be, on or not. So let's see what he looks like. Because when this guy is on, it's amazing.
He's on. He's almost impossible to beat when he's on.
It's amazing, Mike. This is only his 6th Mr. Olympia contest, and it feels like he's been around much longer than that.
Yeah, Flex and myself go way back too. We competed against each other on a national level at the USA in '91, and I had the fortune to beat him in '91, but he immediately turned pro in '92 the following year, and he's been on a roll ever since. My own personal opinion is pound for pound, this man is probably one of the best bodybuilders that ever lived. He's so genetically gifted, it's incredible. And he's a true competitor. He's a fierce competitor.
And with all due respect to Ronnie Coleman, who is the 2-time defending champion, when Flex Wheeler won the Arnold Classic, I believe it was '98, I don't think anyone has ever looked, in my opinion, I'll just say, looked better than he did that night in the history of the sport.
When Flex won the Arnold that night, it was the best I've ever seen any bodybuilder ever. He looked like he was carved from stone. And when Flex is dialed in with his proportions and his symmetry, it's an incredible thing to see. He looks like somebody put him together. God put him together to be a bodybuilder.
And then the thing after that is, the fans and in particular the judges. Oh, here he goes.
This is his trademark right here. Shows the flexibility of a big man.
He did it. But the judges will always compare him to the way he looked that year.
That's the problem. Sometimes they don't judge you by how you look at this contest. They remember you from past contests, and it's very hard to overcome that.
And how would you describe his look tonight?
Flex is on, I believe. He looks very good. I have seen him tighter, but then again, this is the evening show. Most of the guys kind of loosen up a little bit in the evening show. I believe most of the guys were tighter at the pre-judging. But if you look at Flex's physique, when he hits the pose, things just jump out at you. He can stand there and look totally different from when he hits the pose.
You know his wife Madeline real well?
Yes, I do. He has great girl, great family. Flex has really matured over the years. Like I said, I've known him for 11 years now, and he's turned out to be an incredible family man. Very spiritual.
A lot of the fans have a misunderstanding about Flex. The truth is, he's a good guy. He's just a bit shy around the fans. That's my impression.
No, he is. Flex, sometimes they take him as a sore spot, and that's not the case. He's just so incredibly competitive. He wants to win, and his emotions overflow that evening. But I know Flex very well, and he is a great guy.
Will be the night that he knocks kicks down the door. Just while I have you up here, your thoughts on what you just saw.
As always, Flex is incredible. His muscle belly is so large, his joints are so small. He looks like a caricature, like a cartoon character, and the presentation is incredible also.
Now I know why you said
Keep asking him to teach me how to do this, please. Never really worked that one out.
We could all use a little lesson in that. Okay, next up, 31 years old, 250 pounds, 5'8". His first appearance here, a rookie here at Mr. Olympia. Originally from the USA, now living in Thailand. Fourth at this year's Arnold Classic. Please welcome Dennis James.
Dennis James. Been a lot of buzz about him the last few months on Dynasty, what this guy looks like.
This guy is a guy that I think is going to climb the bodybuilding ladder awfully quick. I am incredibly impressed by this gentleman. He reminds me of an early day Kevin Lavarone.
And while we look at Dennis James, who is packing a lot of punch here tonight, Samir Banu joins us in the booth. Samir, great job on stage with your MC work this evening.
Thank you very much. I'm really having fun like you guys here. I just wish I could be there with the big guy, with Mike here.
Samir and I go back a long way.
The only thing that I'm missing here, when Mike Matarazzo isn't on the stage, there's no fun, really. There's no complete fun. I'm telling you like it is, But, I have to say, these guys are incredible. Like I said earlier, I was just thinking they're getting something from outer space with all these massive qualities. I mean, this shit never happened in my days.
I agree, Samir. Even in the past 2 or 3 years, it seems like the guys are just improving tenfold.
Mike, let me tell you, when I saw you the very first time you came into Gold Gym, you brought one of those, that sweet, massive look, that arm, that big calf, that white shoulders. I remember when you won the USA, that's back when you beat Flex Wheeler. You just mentioned that earlier. I mean, these guys are now, there's so many guys that are getting that Mike Matarazzo style.
They're past that. It's amazing. I've become just one of the average guys on stage. When I first came on the scene, I was considered one of the freakiest guys on stage. Now, all these guys, 250, 260, 270 and above, it's just incredible.
Mike, you're never an average, man. You're not an average.
I appreciate that.
These guys are unbelievable. You have to say that. But you have something special about you. Let me tell you, in regard to this show, I mean, like last night, if I would have to say anything about the show, I saw Ron Coleman, and believe me, I was in a state of shock.
It's amazing.
268, shredded to the bone.
It's amazing.
And,
hold on, Samir. The fans don't want Dennis James to leave the stage, the rookie, and I don't think he's going to leave.
I tell you what, in my opinion, Dennis James is an incredible body.
I agree.
Unbelievable. I mean, look at the density, the back, the arms, the small waist, and all that. This guy is totally amazing.
James,
potential is yet untapped.
Is it something that the bodybuilders just tell us to fill the time, or do you really get energy from the crowd?
Oh, definitely. They definitely get feedback off the crowd and pumps you up and gives you more energy.
Of all your titles, which was gave you the most satisfaction?
Well, most people expect me to say the first win, but I think it was probably the second one in '93, because I think then I got almost full potential. You know, the first year I still had a lot more there that I felt I could do, and '93 people acknowledged that maybe I was there to stay for a little while. You know.
Indeed you were. Well, speaking of potential, our final competitor tonight has 290 pounds of it. He considers himself the Rodney Dangerfield of bodybuilding. I can't get no respect. But he says he's going to surprise some people tonight. Please welcome Gunther Schlierkamp.
Well, they said he's 290, so I think that makes him the biggest guy.
Yeah, I believe that Gunther is a big, big man.
You know what? This guy, he still has that, besides that freaky mask, he still has that GQ look, I tell you. And today was that quality. I mean, I have to tell you, this guy is really, really defined and excellent. As you can see, without flexing. You see that?
Yeah, Gunther's come a long way. He's definitely improved over the years.
Really, really, really good. He deserves more credit, really.
Once again, Samir Bannout, former Mr. Olympia, one of the 10. There's only been 10 Mr. Olympias. Is up here in the booth with us now. Joe Amato with Mike Matarazzo.
Samir Bannout, one of my inspirations. I used to watch him pose. I have the pictures. I'm one gentleman that had pictures of Samir all over my wall when I just started bodybuilding.
It's really an honor to sit with you here with the mighty Mike. And I just want to tell these people who's listening on the internet, if you see what Mike looked like, you know, I mean, this guy is so big. I'm looking at least over 22-inch biceps. Relax, maybe 23.
Wait, don't wind him up. He'll run away.
I want to down there enough, Samir.
I wish that he would go on the stage just for 1 minute to see the impression of the crowd. I think they'll freak out how big he is.
Well, let me ask you, Samir, what's it like to be live on the World Wide Web? Kind of exciting.
I love it. I mean, I love this technology. I love for the whole world to see. Just log on online. When I read this at home, that Mike Matarazzo was going to handle this, I said, oh my God, who's going to be a better person to do this? You know what I mean?
I love hearing on Samir. He always pumps me up, I tell you what.
Hey, you know me? If you don't deserve it, I won't say it. Hey, you know?
Yep,
I can be rude, man.
I've known Samir for a long time. I've seen him get some drop-down fights with Jim. He can go.
All right, fellas, let me ask you this. Michael, let's take an analysis of Gunther's physique right here.
Very, very impressive. I mean, Gunther has come a long way. In the past couple of years, he's refined his body incredibly. Gunther is a big man. He's not just heavy. He's very tall.
The guy honestly, I could see his back getting a little drier because his front looks extremely shredded and refined. I don't know why today I got up with a couple of contestants. They're slightly softer in the back department, you know. But, you know, other than that, the guy is so incredible. I mean, he looks great. We're talking Mr. Olympia. And the only reason I think he might be holding a bit of water in his back. But his front is perfectly shredded. He looks so good.
Yeah, he does. He looks fantastic.
I mean, here's Mike.
And another thing about Gunther, I've done so much work with him. This guy is one of the nicest, most gentlest guys you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
The fans love it, and he mingles with everybody. He's just great.
Absolutely. He's still human, you know. I love it when someone gets so big and so awesome and so sweet and friendly to people.
Very modest.
Mike Matarazzo.
Very modest.
Like Samir and Mike Matarazzo.
All right, Samir. That's our last contestant. We want to thank you for coming up to the booth. Thank you very much.
Really great being with you guys. Really have fun. I wish you the very best. I hope to see you again next year and every year.
Samir, a living legend. Thanks, buddy.
Good to see you, Big Mike. God bless you, man.
There goes Gunther Schlierkamp said he was determined to become one of the elite competitors in the sport of bodybuilding. What do you think, Dorian?
I think every one of the guys on the stage is elite. You know, they're all great champions. To get up there, you have to be an outstanding champion.
One of the great things about tonight was the fact that we brought some of the great champions of yesteryear. I hope all of you enjoyed it. Give them all a hand. Good to see you. At this time, we would like to all the award presenters to come up to the right-hand part of our stage here, my stage right, please. And at this time, would the International President of founder of the IFBB, Mr. Ben Weeder.
Take the stage.
Well, Samir came up here and shook up our booth. Holy cow.
Samir shakes things up wherever he goes. He's a walking personality, I tell you.
Thank you, Ben, for another wonderful evening of Mr. Olympia.
I'd like to take just a few moments of your time to recognize a few outstanding individuals that play a very important role to make the IFBB and the sport of bodybuilding what it is. These people contribute their time, their effort, their creativity, and this is our way of saying thank you in front of all of you fans. I'd like to, first of all, invite Tom Dieters to come forward. Tom? Tom Dieters is the editor-in-chief of Muscle and Fitness, Flex, Men's Fitness, and Muscle and Fitness, Her. He was named the Sport Chiropractor of the Year and is a consultant to the Navy, SEALs, and to the Marines. His influence is felt by millions of people around the world. Remember that our magazines are translated into numerous languages, from Chinese to Arabic, you name it, and our magazine is read in those countries, and Tom's influence is very strongly felt there. He's been with the Weeder Company for 13 years and leads a team of professionals to produce such great publications. Furthermore, of course, he's a very loyal supporter of the IFBB and does everything he can to promote our sport. Therefore, I'd like to present Tom with the gold medal and ribbon of the IFBB. I would also at this time invite Vince Scalisi to come forward.
Hey, this is our boss coming up on the stage.
Yeah, that's right. This is a great night for Vince. Vince puts a lot of
the
important
editorial
hours.
director of our magazines, Muscle and Fitness and Muscle and Fitness Hers. He produced and directed the first ever Olympia weekend webcast. This program is being seen on the webcast by numerous thousands of people, and Vic is the one who put it all together. You know, thanks to Vic, there are thousands of bodybuilders in numerous countries around the world actually watching this contest as it's taking place. He's a great leader, and he brings the bodybuilding message to millions of people all over the world, and for that reason, I would like to present to him the silver medal and ribbon of the IFBB. At this time, I would like to call forward a great bodybuilding champion. Numerous times that he won the Mr. Olympia contest, I would like to honor Dorian Yates. What I like about you, Dorian, you are an excellent ambassador for our sport. See, a lot of people around the world, they know bodybuilding, but they really do not know the athletes because they are the ones that are responsible for making our sport popular. You have to be one of the best ambassadors we have, and for that purpose, I would be very pleased right now to present you with our gold medal and ribbon. Last but not least, I would like to call upon my very good friend, Rob Wilkins. Rob? Rob is a technical sergeant of the U.S. Air Force. He fulfills numerous functions within the IFBB. When I have a problem, I call Rob. Rob solves it for me promptly. He's responsible for a lot of the various functions, and he has always produced magnificent results. In fact, he is the one who's responsible for putting on the Joe Weider Muscle Beach seminars that were going all day yesterday and today without a hitch, one after the other, and attracted hundreds of people, and Rob has been responsible for this. And therefore, Rob, your last but not least, I'm very proud to present you with the gold medal and ribbon of the IFBB. We're just going to take a couple of photos for our magazines.